33% of the sales on March 1st, 2023 will be donated to the National Honor Society of DHS. On March 1st, 4 to 8 p.m., come to Chipotle at 349 State Road, Dartmouth, Mass. and help fund DHS.
Welcome everybody back to DHS SportsCenter. It's a big special episode. It's the Super Bowl show. I'm here with our athletic director, Mr. Chris Afuli. Welcome.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate the invite once again.
Yeah, it's a really good invite, and this is going to be a really good show today alongside Will and myself. But first off, we're going to start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll just go around and share our thoughts. First with me, Kansas City, traded Tyreek Hill in the offseason, and then they had, and then they picked up wide receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster. They just picked up Marcus Valdes-Scantling, and they really enhanced their offense 100%. And Patrick Mahomes has great wide receiving core as well coming back. McCole Hardman, even a good running back. A rookie running back out of Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco, this year as well. Will?
Yeah, the Chiefs have played amazing this season. Coming into the season, everyone thought the AFC West was going to be the toughest division in football, as it looked like the Chargers, the Raiders, the Broncos, all were getting better in the offseason. Unfortunately, that was not the case for some of those teams. They fell a little bit short, but the Chiefs were the best team in football, in my opinion, this year. Yeah, even over the Eagles throughout the season, consistency was key for them. And I really like their offense that they put together even without Tyreek Hill, and their defense still stepped up and played amazing.
So I would like to say that one of the conversations that you just said, if I remember it, I'll get back to it. But what do you think about the Chiefs?
I like some of the points that Will brought up. And the AFC West was
that's
in
what
the
I was gonna bring
preseason,
up.
Looked to be the strongest with the quarterback play that they were projected to have. You had Russell Westbrook that was on the
That's basketball.
Broncos. I'm sorry, not right. Russell Wilson. Oh, that's Russell Wilson. I apologize. Going on the Broncos, and after having such a successful career in Seattle, I don't think that panned out for him. I think the Broncos were, in lack of better words, a disaster. Yeah. Hence the reason why they now have a new coach in Sean Payton. I think that obviously the Chargers with Herbert were very competitive, along with Mahomes. In the Chiefs. I thought with Josh McDaniels going to the Raiders, with Derek Carr, I thought for sure that they would have done a little bit better because they had a few more established pieces, but unfortunately didn't. But kind of rewinding back to the Chiefs, to Will's point, were from start to finish the most competitive team in that conference. I know the NFL always goes back to quarterback play, and I think we'd all agree that Patrick Mahomes is right at the top of mostly every list as far as talent-wise and competitiveness and success. What I am concerned about, though, with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl is they had some injuries to the wide receiver position, and if you notice as the game was progressing. They were struggling moving the ball consistently. So Pacheco, the running back, is obviously a great addition. He runs extremely hard. He can do a few things that some of their former running backs couldn't do. So he is a threat to run. But I do think that in order for the Chiefs to be successful in the Super Bowl, they're going to have to establish the run because Mahomes still won't be 100%. And especially if his wide receivers are still a little bit banged up, they're going to need to run the ball.
That point saying, when you talk about Pacheco, he's a really good running back. He reminds me of Jamal Charles. I don't know if you remember, he was on Kansas City a few years back, just retired in 2016, 2017. He reminds me of a young Jamal Charles. He's led the team so far, and he's done a phenomenal job.
You know who he reminds me of? You remember Marion Barber, who was the running back for the Cowboys?
Peace,
yep, but he ran angry.
Yeah, Marion.
And that's what Pacheco does.
Marion Barber, really good running back. I remember telling I remember watching the stories and like Football Life, all that kind of stuff, and
Yep.
Marion Barber's big run. I think it was like the first game at AT&T Stadium when that happened. But when I was talking to Will's spot, the part when it comes to the AFC West, I said earlier the year, I said Chargers were going to win that division. I was wrong. I ate a bowl of crow now.
Well, I mean, I think at the very beginning of the year saying that the Chargers were going to win the division was not, I don't think that was a terrible prediction by any means. Obviously, their quarterback play is fantastic. They got some really good pieces around him. Their defense is vastly improved. So I don't think that prediction was a bad one. It just, unfortunately, wasn't the right one in the end.
If there's one more thing I could say about the Chiefs, I think an underrated part of their team that necessarily doesn't always get talked about enough is their coaching staff. Obviously, Andy Reid is a fantastic head coach and has been there for a while. But the offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, is genius and a fantastic, smart guy. He knows every play. He's worked with Patrick Mahomes since he's been there. And I don't know how he honestly hasn't got a head coach job yet. Even their defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, he's put together a great defense and some great plays. And I don't think it gets enough credit as it should, their coaching staff necessarily.
Time out there. Just time out. I was going to add to you there. I don't know, Eric Bieniemy hasn't really been calling the plays. I mean, Andy Reid has done most of the plays for the Chiefs. But you never know. None of us are on those headsets, so it is a very tough task to call a side of the ball, whether it's defensively or offensively, and still be the head coach that manages the game and decisions that are made, such as fourth downs and I guess I am the one thing I am sure of is if there's a play call that he doesn't like, he's going to quickly intervene and change it. But I think at that level, it's a collective plan of a bunch of coaches that put game plans in place. I have a trivia question for you. What?
Okay, Steve Spagnuolo, who is the defense coordinator for
phenomenal defensive coordinator.
He's from the Chiefs. He was actually the defense coordinator when the Giants beat the Patriots twice, the undefeated season and then a couple of years later. But here's the trivia question. Where did Steve Spagnuolo graduate college from? What university or college did he attend?
PC?
No, it wasn't PC.
But it was in Mass.
It was Springfield College in Springfield, Mass.
I didn't know.
Yep. So that's where he graduated from. That's a big. And then their special teams coach, for the life of me, I can't remember his name. He also is a Springfield College grad.
And don't get me wrong, Noah Gray, the tight end for the Chiefs, is a Massachusetts native. You can't get that wrong. But shifting gears now, let's go to not the Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year they fired the head coach, Doug Peterson, and bring on a new head coach who was the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, Nick Sirianni. And he has in his second year as head coach, he went to the playoffs last year and goes to the playoffs this year. He's done a phenomenal job as head coach this year. You can't get me wrong. You got Jalen Hurts, and you traded in the draft for A.J. Brown. You can't get that wrong, and you got great wide receiving core like Devontae Smith. You got Gainwell. Trying to think of some wide receivers.
They've actually done a great job drafting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just in the last few years.
Nakobe Dean.
Dean, obviously, you had Jalen Hurts. You had wide receiver just mentioned from Alabama. Devontae Smith. And then traded draft picks, if I remember correctly, for A.J. Brown. So
first-round draft pick.
Yep. And then their running back.
Miles Sanders.
I had him in fantasy football this year. And he was good. But they've done a nice job of drafting their team and have relied less on signing expensive free agents and trading. So they've done a great job. And I think they established that right before they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots a couple of years ago, and they've been building it internally from there. But Jalen Hurts, I root for that guy because I thought if you rewind back to when he was at Alabama and he got pulled from
Roll Tide.
Yep, he got pulled from the national championship game in lieu of Tua. He was nothing but a class act and a great teammate in supporting Tua. Obviously, the next year, I know that they both battled for the spot, and then he ended up leaving to go to Oklahoma. So I'm very happy that he's been able to overcome some of those challenges, and now he's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's a really phenomenal quarterback. This year, when the season started, I thought it was going to be Dolphins-Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh, don't say the D word, Dolphins. I can't stomach the Dolphins. My best friend and my brother are huge Dolphins fans.
My uncle is a Dolphins fan.
I can't take it.
If he's watching this right now, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so thinking about Jalen Hurts and where he came from, I remember watching that national championship game where he got benched and seeing Tua come in the second half, and I thought, I mean, this could be it for him. You know, he had been there years prior, and it just seems like it wasn't working out. They were almost going to transition into a running back, and transferring to Oklahoma, becoming a Heisman finalist, you know, going in the draft in the second round to the Eagles when I don't even think many people expected that pick by the Eagles in the second round, especially with Carson Wentz still there. It was it seemed like a questionable pick at the time, but it's worked out perfectly for him. And I think Nick Sirianni is a big part of that. I love the guy. I think he's a fantastic head coach, and he's done a great job there. And he's going to have a long future there for the Eagles. The Eagles' offense with A.J. Brown, this new addition in A.J. Brown, the new number one wide receiver, has worked out fantastic for him. The chemistry between him and Jalen Hurts has just been incredible to watch. And Miles Sanders, I feel like, took a little bit of a step up this year. Dallas Goedert is a fantastic tight end, blocking and receiving. And then you look at their defense, kind of. You got Jordan Davis, their first-round draft pick out of Georgia, monster of a human being at nose tackle. Nakobe Dean, also from Georgia, playing linebacker for them.
Big play Slay.
Yeah, big play Slay, Darius Slay, and playing cornerback for them. It's all coming together for the Eagles, and they've had a great season so far. So I really think that they deserve to be here.
That being said, adding on to that story there, you got to think about that defense. They got a really good defense. They got a lot of veterans on their team, like Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, like you just mentioned, Nakobe Dean, all the other players. You got phenomenal cornerbacks like Darius Slay, who you signed last year or the year prior. He's been a great addition to the team. And then you think about great cornerbacks like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's also been really well so far for the Eagles. Hassan Reddick, you didn't mention him.
Hassan Reddick,
Hassan Reddick,
playing outside linebacker for them.
Leads the NFL in sacks at the moment.
Well, he arguably made the biggest play in the game versus the 49ers of that sack that really pretty much ended the game. Purdy was hurt his elbow, and unfortunately they were already into their fourth string quarterback at that point, and
they almost put Christian McCaffrey. Don't get me wrong.
and facing that Eagles defense, even with your starter, is a handful.
Yeah.
Never mind when you're having to put some players in there that might not be, up to par.
Mm-hmm. That being said, going through there, and the Eagles having a phenomenal defense, phenomenal offense as well. Special teams, they got a really good special teams. Great kicker and Jake Elliott. Mm-hmm. I forgot their punter. Do you know? The punter.
I don't know the punter.
But
the punter doesn't get the attention he deserves.
But anyways, they got a good kicker. They do got a good returner in Gainwell as well. I'm trying to think. The Chiefs have a good punter in Townsend. Great runner, like I just said, like returner.
If you want to talk about kicker, I mean, you can't get much better than Harrison Butker. I mean, obviously, you got your Justin Tuckers of the world, but Harrison Butker is someone who's been consistent throughout his entire career with the Chiefs. Mm-hmm.
1,000%. I remember watching him in his rookie year, and look how he has grown. He's gone from being just gone from being a young kid and growing up and banging field goals. I didn't, at the last second, won the game for them, though. Made them go to the Super Bowl. And
I mean, the kickers, they get a lot of attention for the misses that they have, whether it's missed field goals, missed extra points.
Brett Maher.
And these kickers have won and lost games, won and lost Super Bowls. I mean, think about Scott Norwood with the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 25. Think about Adam Vinatieri when the Patriots won their very first Super Bowl, and if I remember correctly, he won the next Super Bowl, and then the next one after that.
No, he didn't.
No, just two. I'm sorry.
Just two, yeah.
Just two. All right. So, again, those players certainly have a lot of pressure on them, because just imagine, I mean, in that Carolina Super Bowl, which I believe is the second one if I remember correctly, John Casey, who was the kicker for the Panthers, kicked a game-tying field goal with 40 or 50 seconds left in the game, and then in the kickoff he kicked the ball out of bounds, which gave the ball to the Patriots at the 40. They went down, got a few first downs, kicked the field goal, and won the game.
Yeah, and speaking of the Scott Norwood play, I still, to this day, make fun of troll Bills fans, even on social media like Twitter, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I still do it to this day. It's just funny. I mentioned their 4 Super Bowl losses, but I can't mention that because at the time we had a bad record.
Yeah.
we were 1-15. We were 2-14. We've lost more Super Bowls than the Bills have. But in reality, the Bills don't have any Super Bowls, which I hope.
Who are you a fan of?
Patriots, of course,
Patriots. Okay.
But in reality, next year they could possibly bounce back. They had a lot of injuries, defensive wise, banged up secondary. They needed Von Miller. They need Micah Hyde back. DeMar Hamlin.
Yep.
I don't know if he might come back or whatnot, but I hope he goes back on the field and
yeah, so he has a long road
to
recovery, and obviously the most important thing for him is his health.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
All right. So before we end it,
We're looking at predictions. Are we looking at predictions?
yeah. Here's our
Let's
prediction.
go. Let's go. Will first.
Yeah,
Let's
we're gonna
give
go
a
Will
shot
and then
first.
go. All right. Will,
Oh, you want to close it out?
Yeah.
You're going to close it out?
Yeah. Will.
All right.
We'll go first.
Man. I've been thinking about this for a while, literally ever since the Chiefs game ended the other day, on what's going to happen between these two teams. And I'm still not 100% positive, but I'm going to go with what my gut tells me rather than what my heart tells me. And, I'm not going to act like I'm the biggest fan of either of these teams, but I will say I really am happy that the Eagles are here. But I'm even more happy that the Chiefs, against the odds in their division, who weren't projected to be the best this year, are here as well. With that being said, though, fly, Eagles, fly, right? I'm going Eagles 28-21.
Is that your heart or your head on that? What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of both, actually, maybe.
Okay.
But 28-21, 7 points. Eagles are going to take it, I'm thinking.
So.
Oh, you're going to go next?
Yeah, I'm going because
I'm
you're
going to
going
be like Mariano Rivera. I'm going to close it out. All right.
Okay, so right after this, it just really says it, and it really goes to show that Kansas City has a really good offense and a really good front D line on defense, and Patrick Mahomes, a great offensive player, great quarterback, led the team in passing title, led the NFL in passing titles this year with 5,250 yards. And, Jalen Hurts and the phenomenal defense in the Eagles, you got a phenomenal team as well. But like Will said, I have to go with my, did you say your heart or your gut?
I said my gut, but by the end of it, I don't even know what I was listening to. I don't even know what came out of my mouth. Eagles. Go Eagles.
But it goes with my heart and my gut that I have to say this.
You're gonna root for Russell Westbrook, right?
No. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Okay, all right.
On the road to victory.
Okay. Okay.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Hit 'em low, hit 'em high. Then watch them Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory. Eagles, Eagles. 28-17
Wow.
Eagles.
I don't even know what to. I don't know what to think of that. You belted out that whole song with the animation too. So,
Our cameraman Mike over here is dying behind the camera, but go ahead. Mr.
all right, let me think here. So, as I mentioned at the very beginning, quarterback play in the NFL is success begins and ends with quarterback play. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes has been very successful all year long. He does tend to get injured from time to time. He did play through an injury this past week. He did make plays when he needed to. I don't think any of us agree that he was nearly as sharp as he usually is. Mm-hmm. Some of that might have had to do with the injuries that they had on their receiving corps. So, but I don't believe he's going to be. I'm not a doctor. I went to school to be a physical education teacher, not a doctor. So I can't predict how he's going to be feeling. I am just guessing that he probably won't be at 100% from a high ankle sprain, which is not an easy injury to recover from. Jalen Hurts has had a tremendous season. He was also injured towards the end of the year and had to take a few weeks off. And I personally don't think he's been the same since he's come back. Last week, he really didn't have to do a whole heck of a lot because I think when the 49ers lost their starting quarterback, at that point, Miles Sanders kind of took over, and their run game really was all they needed to defeat them. So, now having said all of that, my heart, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but my heart is rooting for the Eagles. But I do go back to the quarterback play of the Chiefs. So now it's a little bit of a tug of war in my mind. But you know what I will say is defense does win championships. And I would say that the Eagles defense is stronger, in my opinion, than the Chiefs. And I think with Mahomes a little bit banged up and some question marks about their receivers, I won't sing the song and I won't dance while singing it like you did. But I will pick the Eagles. And the Eagles are going to win. You ready for this?
What?
35-24. 35-24.
I don't
A.J. Brown is going to go off,
and
that's my prediction.
I don't see it to be a high-scoring game, but it's a really good tradition that we bring this up. Go to Super Bowl food. Who you?
There's not much I turned down. I would say, as you know from past times on the show, I love chicken wings. And if you remember back to our Buffalo Wild Wings experience that we went and we filmed on site, as you know, Buffalo Wild Wings is one of the top wing places that I like. But I do like buffalo chicken dip with any type of chips, crackers, what have you. So my perfect Super Bowl party would start off with buffalo chicken dip and would end with Buffalo Wild Wings. I would probably go boneless, just so it's not as messy.
What kind of wings from Buffalo Wild?
I go mild buffalo. I can't. My taste buds are not good with the hotter stuff, but I would say I want to enjoy eating it and I want to enjoy the game. I don't want to be sweating and downing water and eating bread to even off the acid in my mouth. So I would say mild, and that's where I stand.
Yeah. So usually on Super Bowl Sunday, my mother makes a plate of cream cheese, and then she puts cheese on top of it with, not cheese, salsa, and then puts cheese.
Nice.
It's so good. It's like,
Are you going to bring some in for us?
someday I should.
You should. You should. Next show, we should each bring in. So Will bring one in. You bring one in.
if you're
and
on
we'll
the-
do 3 separate like dips. Okay, and we'll see which one that the cast and crew likes the best. And we won't even reveal who did what. We'll just label them 1, 2, and 3, and let's do that. One of these shows by the end of the year.
All right. Well,
So, anyways, I do like buffalo chicken wings, but some buffalo chicken wings I do like. You know, Max's, we had a show there. They have good buffalo chicken wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, like you just said. I like getting food from Fridays, TGI Fridays.
Yep.
They have good wings there too as well.
You know, the other thing I like is
Potato skins. Oh,
Potato
yes.
skins.
Potato
I'm getting
skins.
hungry just thinking about them.
you know,
I wonder what Parati's thinking in the back.
What do you got, Will? Hey, you know what? Let's set real quick before Will starts. We're going to set some ground rules for the dip eating contest. You can't go to Stop and Shop and buy a dip. You have to actually make it. Okay?
Word.
That's the ground rules. All right, go ahead.
So, I'm not trying to be a copycat here. I'll just put that on record, but I think the GOAT of appetizers, and this doesn't even have to do with football food, just appetizers in general, is buffalo chicken dip.
Boom.
Like, I don't think you get much, it just doesn't get much better than that. That's like my ideal appetizer for anything is buffalo chicken dip. But I'm going to give another honorable mention to Super Bowl food that I've had at past Super Bowl parties. Just mini sliders, just mini burgers, mini sliders.
Yes.
You know, nothing
Yep.
too much, just mini sliders, and you know, super good. Like, you don't need a whole giant burger,
You know-
just
you know
those
what
mini
else?
guys. And
You know what else is not bad is the
White Castle
jalapeno poppers.
My mother makes them all the time. It's frozen, but
But so let me summarize this. So Will says buffalo chicken dip. You say buffalo chicken dip, and I say buffalo chicken dip. So I think that just sets this up
undefeated.
for a buffalo chicken dip contest. What do you think?
Deal.
Will, you in on that?
oh, you know,
Hey,
Okay.
Buffalo.
count me
And
out.
hey, the ground rules are you can't go to Stop and Shop at Shaw's and buy a pre-made one. Okay?
Okay.
That's just so it's out there. And you can't buy it from another restaurant too. You have to physically make it. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chris Foley, for
Thank
coming
you,
on the show
thank you,
today.
thank you.
And Will, once again, thank you very much, our co-host here. But folks, stay tuned. Right after this, we'll have Will's Weekly Sports News, and we'll have interviews with the students to see who will win the Super Bowl this year.
Welcome back to DHS News. I'm your host, Ella Gates, this just in. Do you know the rules of the road when walking or biking to school? Well, we have a reporter, Bella Rabello, live on the scene outside of our school, here to shed some light on today's topic. Take it away, Bella.
That's right, Ella. Road safety goes way beyond just wearing helmets and looking both ways at crosswalks.
Can you tell us more about road signs and what they are?
Signs like school speed limit signs and crosswalk assembly signs are important to keeping students and pedestrians safe.
Are there any street markings that people should be aware of when out on the street?
Sharrow markings, which are represented by a green stripe with white arrows, indicate that the street is being shared by drivers and bikers. Drivers should also be aware of bike boxes. These ensure the safety of our bikers as they commute.
How can other drivers and pedestrians avoid tragedies like this?
Drivers, bikers, and pedestrians can all avoid tragic accidents by being aware of each other and road signs. Back to you, Ella.
This has been DHS News.
Who do you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
I got the Eagles.
I think Eagles gonna win. I got the Chiefs. Chiefs all the way.
All right. Who do you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Heck no, the Philadelphia Eagles, baby.
All right. So we're back with more students. Who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles.
All right. Who do you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs.
All right. We're back with more students. Who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I was still Patrick Mahomes losing. I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm
hoping for the Eagles to win. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Okay. Now we're here with a few more students. Who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
Benz, I got the Philadelphia Eagles.
I got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay. All right, guys, we're back with 4 more students. Who you guys got winning the Super Bowl this year?
I got the Eagles, man. Their QB, Cunningham, is ripping it lately.
You know, I got the Chiefs, Jackson Mahomes all the way. Let's go.
Jalen Hurts is the future, so I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, I got to go with the Eagles because they're the best team, and, fly, Eagles, fly.
All right, we're back with another student. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl this year?
I got the Chiefs in a close one.
All right, thank you. All right, we're back with another student. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl this year?
I have the Chiefs winning.
All right, thank you. All right, we're back with our principal at Dartmouth High School. Who do you got winning the Super Bowl this year?
Kansas City, Mahomes all day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all for watching today's episode of DHS Sports Center. If you like DHS Sports Center and you want to see more, subscribe to DHS TV Media on YouTube, like this video, and turn on the bell so you never miss an episode of DHS Sports Center. Thank you for watching.
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch them Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles.